For all you ladies bleeding in your 50s, I know you're not menopausal, but I am telling you, statistically speaking, I bet you're perimenopausal. And if you're still bleeding and your cycle's the same, you are early perimenopause because period changes happen in late perimenopause. So the average age of menopause is 51 years. This is the average age. I want everybody to know that everybody's menopausal age is going to be different. There are a lot of factors determining this. Menopause is ovarian insufficiency. When your ovaries run out of eggs or you run out of ovaries if you had surgery, you will go into menopause when either your ovaries go bye-bye or your eggs go bye-bye. If you have a surgical menopause, when they took out your ovaries, your menopause starts immediately. And it's a bit horrid. Surgical menopause is not fun whatsoever because it's like straight away. There's no gradual, okay? So if you had your ovaries removed, surgical menopause. Whatever age you had your surgery, that's when you had your menopause. If you have a natural menopause, non-surgical, it varies. You could be in menopause 7, 10, or 15 years. Now, I shouldn't say menopause, but I just want you to understand that perimenopause is what leads up to actual menopause. I think there's a lot of confusion about verbiage. Usually I'm talking about perimenopause or postmenopause. If you are postmenopausal, my PT heart is usually nagging you guys about DEXA scan, muscle bulk, bone density. Like, I will die on this hill that I want your bones to be strong and flexible so that you don't fall, you don't break a hip, because that's going to affect your quality of life. But if you're perimenopausal, you can make changes now to help future you. After we start to age, let's say 35, 40, our muscle bulk and bone density goes down pretty significantly. And as our estrogen leaves, everything goes faster. So perimenopause is everything that happens prior to the day of menopause. I like to think of menopause as a day. Menopause is where you are 365 days after you didn't have a period. Now, I think that how we define menopause perhaps should be different because sometimes people don't have periods because their uterus was removed, but they still have their ovaries. But for the sake of this particular conversation, the definition of menopause is ovarian insufficiency. You are no longer bleeding. You have not bled in 1 year. And your FSH and your anti-Müllerian hormone, you can check those things. But perimenopause is everything prior to that day. And early to mid perimenopause, y'all will still have your period. You guys, the age 51, now this commenter, I just picked her comment because she's like one of the many y'all that are in their 50s and still menstruating, and I say good. I am so glad. I don't want you to go into early menopause if you don't have to. If you are in menopause prior to the age of 45, that's early menopause, but like, I want you guys to know what perimenopause is. It is before menopause. It is 5, 10, 15 years before you stop bleeding for a year. You can be in perimenopause for a long time and still have a consistent cycle, but the changes are already happening to your bones, your joints, your muscles, your anxiety, your fatigue, your hair loss, your itchy skin, itchy ears, anxiety, like the anxiety and brain fog are sooner than your period changes. I just want women to know that you're changing, and I want you to know the change is coming so that when the weird changes happen, and I'm not talking about the period changes because I think you guys understand that, but I don't want you to unalive yourself. The highest rate of women unaliving themselves is between the ages of 45 and 55. Do you know what happens to women between the ages of 45 and 55? They have a hormonal shift, and they aren't educated on what can happen to their brains, their body. They don't know who to talk to, and they feel alone because they didn't know. They just thought they were losing their minds, and they went to their doctor, and maybe they didn't get the care that they needed. So I'm saying to all you ladies who are in your 50s and still bleeding, I am happy for you. This is good. The average age is 51. I saw a lady comment that she didn't go into menopause until she was 60. Right on. That's pretty awesome. But if you go into menopause too early, it's not helpful either, because as we lose our estrogen, because we get this ovarian insufficiency, estrogen is protective, okay? It is neuroprotective. It protects our brain. It is cardioprotective. It protects us. It protects our heart. The number one unaliver of women is cardiovascular disease. When your estrogen goes bye-bye, your cardiovascular disease goes up. So like if you go into menopause early, I am concerned. I want to be looking out for your heart. I want you to know that you have to be on high alert for these things. So please get your DEXA scan. Please, please, please. Prevention is better than treatment. I would love to know what your scores are for your DEXA scan, because I don't want your bones to turn to brittle snips. Love you, bye.